10 signs someone may be uncomfortable around you. Before starting the video, if you are new here, please subscribe. Predicting what might induce discomfort in someone is a challenging task, and even recognizing it after you've spoken can prove to be elusive. This difficulty arises from the fact that people invariably possess differing levels of comfort concerning various topics. When you sense that someone may not be at ease or secure during your conversation, it's beneficial to inquire about their feelings and adjust the course of the conversation based on their response. However, if your goal is to enhance your social interactions, it is crucial to be attuned to nonverbal cues. These cues, particularly body language, serve as a valuable indicator of whether someone is at ease or uneasy. Furthermore, discerning the cause of their discomfort can aid you in avoiding a repetition of the same error. The initial step in deciphering someone's body language involves understanding what to observe for. Here are 10 indications that suggest someone is experiencing discomfort. Number 1. Reacting with flinching and wincing. When someone finds themselves in an awkward or uneasy situation, it's possible for them to exhibit slight flinching or wincing. In cases where you've unintentionally said or done something that has crossed a line, the person you're interacting with might resort to these subtle reactions to conceal their discomfort. They could exhibit sudden gestures like pulling back slightly or narrowing their eyes, which could initially be mistaken for physical discomfort. When you observe these nonverbal signals, take a moment to consider what might have triggered them. This reflection could lead you to realize that your words played a part, and offering a swift apology can go a long way in resolving the situation. Number 2. Rapid speech and expressive gestures. When we feel uneasy, our body can trigger the fight or flight response. This often results in an elevated heart rate and quicker breathing. In the context of a conversation, you might notice that a person starts making more pronounced gestures or speaks at a faster pace. They might also adopt a hurried tone, which could signify their desire to conclude the conversation promptly, sometimes even coming across as somewhat abrupt. If you pick up on these cues, it's important to recognize that it might not be entirely your doing. At times, people can begin feeling uncomfortable simply due to the conversation dragging on or due to their personal experiences with social anxiety. Number 3. Scratching. Imagine you're outdoors with someone, and they start scratching a mosquito bite. This itchiness is quite common and not concerning on its own. However, if there's no apparent reason for them to scratch, it could indicate they're feeling uncomfortable. Take notice of this particular body signal, especially if it happens after something you've said. Keep an eye out for scratching around the ears. This gesture often suggests that the person might disagree with you but chooses not to express their thoughts verbally. Number 4. Nervous laughter. Nervous laughter is something many people experience, especially in situations that feel awkward or uncomfortable. Sometimes, people use laughter as a way to ease tension and handle their discomfort. To gain insight into how someone truly feels when they're with you, take notice of their laughter, see if it seems natural and genuine, or if it comes across as nervous and forced. Number 5. Shifting eye contact. Sometimes, when people are not fully engaged, feel overshadowed, or are experiencing discomfort in a conversation, they may search for reasons to divert their gaze. Frequently glancing around the room or at their phone could be a sign that they're hoping to disengage from the situation. If you observe that someone consistently avoids looking directly at you, it might be a good idea to pause your own speaking and shift to attentive listening. You could try involving them more by asking for their thoughts on a particular topic or steering the discussion in a direction that focuses on their interests. During this interaction, make sure to offer them your complete attention without interrupting. Their response will provide you with insights into whether they're open to continuing the conversation with you. 6. One-word answers. It's not uncommon to find yourself talking to someone who gives one-word answers. They could simply be distracted or shy, but it could also reveal discomfort. If you're an exceptional conversationalist and ask thoughtful questions, it can be unsettling to receive one- or two-word answers, and it could mean that you're not the only one feeling unsettled. There are lots of different things that you could have said that unintentionally made them feel uncomfortable. The most likely answer is that you touched on a topic that made them feel embarrassed, offended, or unknowledgeable. In these circumstances, it's important to take a look at the big picture. It could be time to end the conversation and move on. Number 7. Self-soothing. Have you ever noticed yourself engaging in nervous habits like tapping your foot, twirling your hair, or biting your nails when you're feeling uneasy? Well, it's quite common for others to have similar habits when they're trying to comfort themselves. These actions serve as a way to alleviate inner tension. If you happen to be in a situation where you're making someone feel uneasy, you might observe them resorting to these self-soothing behaviors. These habits usually happen without conscious awareness, and the person you're talking to might not even realize their discomfort. Look out for restive actions such as playing with jewelry, gently rubbing their neck, or fussing with their clothes or objects nearby. When you notice someone displaying such behaviors, take a moment to reflect on your conversation and how it might be affecting them. Is the topic you're discussing potentially offensive or anxiety-inducing? If you suspect it could be, consider transitioning the conversation towards a less contentious subject. 8. Red ears. Do you blush when you feel embarrassed? Maybe you do, or perhaps you know someone who does. People often get red in the face when they feel nervous or uncomfortable. But sometimes, a nervous blush can be subtle and only affect the ears. This happens because blood flows to the ears faster than it does to the face. So, if you see red ears, it's a sure sign that someone is feeling uncomfortable. 9. Backing away. Stepping back or away is a common subconscious signal that you don't want to be near something or someone. If someone moves away from you, it's a sign that they're uncomfortable. If they can't move away, they might simply turn away or create a barrier by crossing their arms or legs. These behaviors are a form of subconscious blocking that helps us protect ourselves. If you notice it, don't be too worried. It could just mean that you stepped a little too far into somebody else's personal space. Just take a step back and see if some space gives them comfort. Number 10. Use of objects as shields. When individuals experience discomfort, they may resort to using objects as a form of protection rather than using their bodies. This tendency to use objects as shields is most commonly seen when a person is holding things like a backpack, purse, or a book. They essentially employ whatever they are holding as a barrier to safeguard themselves if they are not comfortable with your actions. It's important to understand that this blocking behavior is involuntary and not intended as a personal attack. Instead of taking it personally, view it as an opportunity to gain insight into the other person's emotions and assess how they react to what you're saying. Although you cannot control another person's reactions, you can certainly make an effort to create an environment that makes them feel secure and at ease. When it comes to determining how someone else feels, nonverbal cues are the next best thing to just asking. Sometimes, people feel uncomfortable because of their personal beliefs, experiences, or biases, and if you don't already know their specific triggers, it's nearly impossible to guess how they'll react. If you notice that you're the source of some level of discomfort, most of the time, all you need to do to make someone feel better is give them some space and an apology. Keep in mind that other people's emotions are not your responsibility, and making others feel comfortable isn't always the best or the right thing to do, especially if they have a problem with your self-expression or authenticity. Be mindful of how you influence other people's emotions, but never at the expense of being true to yourself. Can you remember the last time you made someone uncomfortable? How did you handle the situation? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Also do like, share, and subscribe for more videos.